So here's the job that we're working on in Hoffman Estates. I've already posted a video or two of some of the stuff that's been going on here. This is going to be a kitchen remodel. I'm waiting for an inspector, so I figured I'd take a few minutes and just do a quick update prior to inspection. I got a little bit of time. So this area here, as you saw in the previous video, I know it was hard to hear me because of all the banging and stuff, but I'll just reiterate here. So in this area here, right about here, there was two beams that were cut 3/4 of the way through by a previous cut contractor. Why they did that, I have no idea. But they attempted to sister in some 1/2-inch plywood to carry the weight, which created the floor to sag. The 1/2 inch was not even close to being what was required. They should have actually just pulled the beams out and replaced them at that point, cutting them 3/4 of the way through. So what we did was we demoed out the floor here, replaced the beams, and then matched in, re-leveled everything and matched everything in, so we have a nice level surface to start off with now. There's no dips in the floor, and everything's nice and solid. So, and then on this side here, this was the original layout of the kitchen. They had cabinets here that came along here. That was all been removed. There was a small wall here, and it ended here, and this was like a walkway coming through. And then there was a large soffit here where they had, I would say it was almost about 1.5 feet wide. As you can see, our water lines running through here now. The water lines and the electrical lines were dropped below the ceiling, which now you can see that they're up in the ceiling, so we can recess that up. This is a major support beam which cannot be moved. So what then we had to do in order to remove this wall, which came all the way out to about here, and this was a doorway here. And so what we had to do is put in a micro beam here. So we ended up having 4x4 posts here, 4x4 post there, and install a micro beam here, heavy duty brackets, and we did the same thing on this side. So this was all wall here, and then there was a doorway here, a pass through to go to that side. We did the same thing, 4x4 post, 4x4 post, and added in the micro beams. They're micro laminate beams, or LVMs. Reframed everything up in here. The beam runs clear across. So now this supports the whole entire second floor. Removed all the electrical, all the plumbing that was in this area. Removed all the insulation in this wall. There was already insulation in there, but we removed it to bring it up to code. Reframed the window. We're putting a smaller window. So actually, let me back up here a minute. I'll walk over here a second. So this was the existing kitchen, and now we're moving the kitchen into this area where this is actually going to be the sink wall, stove wall. And then we're going to put a large island in here, and this old kitchen is now going to be an eat-in area / dining room. All right. So now you get up to speed here. So we raised the window because of the cabinetry and stuff like that. Brought all the plumbing over here. We bring the water pipes in to the inside of the room because this is an exterior wall, and you don't want to have water pipes running through your exterior wall because they're going to freeze, and you don't want to do that. So we bring them to the inside of the room, which they'll be inside the cabinet, and they won't end up freezing. The vent is staying here. We're going to vent it out through the toe kick of the cabinet. We got all of our electrical in. All new electrical. And we also, it's covered up now, but you can see it in the previous video. Ran a new vent for the new location of the sink. We also relocated the thermostat, which was here, at this point here. Relocated it over here. Mounted it onto a plate so it has a nice sturdy instead of just doing it on the drywall. Here where the towel is an old vent that vented out into the kitchen, which is going to be covered up. This is a secondary vent that vented for the living room area that we're standing in now. We're going to still use that one. We're going to reconfigure it a little bit, but that's still going to be a return vent going for there. Behind the drywall here, there is also a heat vent. Let's see if you can see it. There's a heat vent back there, which we are also going to relocate a little bit inside the cabinet, right where that location of that vent is going to be pretty close to the end of the cabinetry. So we're just going to move it over just a little bit so we can come up underneath the cabinets and vent out like under the toe kick, like we're going to do over on this area here. We also removed all the ceiling insulation that was pre-existing. For this kind of area, there was a R30, which is not bad. It's pretty decent. But the code calls for an R38. There is no attic space above this. There's no crawl space or anything like that to get up inside there. So you have to have a little, at least an R38. If this was attic area, and accessible from another location, then we would have to bring it up to an R49. That's by code. Some of the other things that we've done here on the electrical, since this is a sloped ceiling, we added in the pitched cans. This way the lights shine directly down. The light comes directly down. If you would have put a regular can in here, without the pitch on there, then the light would have been shining on an angle instead of straight down. So it's an extra expense, but it's the right way to do it. So one thing that we always do is not cut corners. If I see something that I think is the right way of doing things and they want to do it the opposite direction, electrician or a plumber or something like that, just to try to save them money, I say absolutely not. If I would have saw them install regular cans in here, I would have had them rip them out. Our speed is fairly good in here. This was all completed in about 3.5 days of putting in beams, reconfiguring everything. And then also over here, we opened up this doorway. This was a narrow doorway, and we got them without changing the angle or the style of the house. We got them almost an additional 11 inches. As you see here, there's about 3 inches here, 3-4 inches, and then there's about 5 or 6 inches on this side that we recessed the wall back. This is the original flooring from where it was. So the next plan of attack would be, after inspection, is getting this all drywalled and getting it painted in. We're just going to do prime it, and then one coat of color, and then we'll get the floors put in and finished and everything, and they'll come back and do their final coats on paints and touch-ups and stuff like that. On this area here, there's a 1/4 inch Luan in this location here, so we got to match that in the kitchen area, the old kitchen area, to get the floor all leveled out. That's pretty much all I see right now. As you can see, again, I try to state it in all my videos, is the cleanliness, how clean this room is. This is how we leave it on a nightly basis. We never leave sawdust all over the place, exposed nails, lumber laying all over, tools all over the place, very disorganized. A lot of contractors do that. I do not. I'd rather pay my guys to make sure that this place is safe and clean, and spend the last hour of the day cleaning and getting everything out into the dumpsters and everything cleaned up real nice for the homeowners. One, it makes the job look nice. Homeowners are going to walk in here almost every single day to look at their project, so I don't want anybody getting hurt. I know this is a long video, so I'll wrap it up. So I'll keep you guys posted on what's to come. Thanks.